Start stream. Okay. It's going to take a minute to connect.
No problem.
And then I have to make sure it is live via my phone.
If I keep my heater running, is this noise disturbing you?
No, I can't hear a thing about your heater.
Okay. Perfect.
Let's see. Okay, where is me? Okay, good. I'm live. Let me check my end. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, good. I'm live. Let me check my end. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, good. I have audio on my end. I can switch over to this now. And yeah, this is what I'm looking at currently right here.
Oh, perfect.
There we go. All right. Let me pull up my list of questions here. And then I will do the intro. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you got the full list of questions. I sent them to your email.
Yes.
All right. Let me see if I can expand my thing for the intro. Oop, that's not it. Okay, there we go. All right, because then what I can do is I can when I make it in video form, I can edit it and then bring my face in and then expand it, and then you're over here. So.
No. Okay.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Future Rail Productions here. Yes, we are back for one more year. This is the first video or live stream, if you guys are watching this live, of my YouTube channel. And we're interviewing a Wandmaker, someone who made a very nice custom wand for me. Stephan of KÖestlers. I screwed that up, didn't I? KÖestler's Fine Magic Wands. How you doing,
Perfect.
Stephan?
Hi, hello, Christopher. Thank you very much for having me. I'm doing very fine. How are you? How do you do?
I'm doing all right. I'm just very thankful that I literally got this in time for Christmas. This is a fantastic wand. I mean,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, like the detail that you put into it. Like, I thought it was gonna be a little bigger, but but that's all right. I love it. The only thing I wish was that it arrived December 21st, not the 23rd, because the character it's for, Elsa from Frozen, her birthday is December 21st.
Ah.
So it's no big deal. It's great. It got here. It's fine. It's not in a million pieces. Everything is perfectly fine.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we got like a list of questions here that I'm gonna read off to you here. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count quick enough. But let's get started. So, Stephan, what made you start your career as a wand maker?
Well, I'm a full-time professional wand maker, and I had to go to school to become a wand maker. I
really
went.
For that.
Yes, that's cool. I went 7 years. It's like a magical high school in Germany, in my region. I went there 7 years to got my magic like high school grades,
right?
My college grades, and then I went to travel and work for 9 years to become a wand maker. My first teacher was in Venice, in Italy. My second teacher in Norway, and my third teacher in the Black Forest in southern Germany.
Wow, that's awesome.
It quite took a time, yes, to become a wand maker. And then after this 9 years, I got my master's degree. Yeah, and pretty much since then, I'm a full-time wand maker.
I'm still like mind boggled that there's actually schools for this, because like obviously this is like a fantasy world and you make custom wands, and people, obviously it's magic is not real like Harry Potter magic, but like the fact that you actually have schools for this kind of stuff, it just blows my mind. It's awesome. Second question, what is the number one tool used in your shop?
The number one tool, I would say the number one tool is the wood lathe I'm sitting in front of now, but I can't show. But yeah, like lathe tools. Give me a second. Like this one, for example. It's a 3/4 inch roughing gauge, it's called. It's the English shape, not the European shape. Like 95% of my work on wands happens on my wood lathe, and therefore I can say, like turning tools are my most used or my preferred tools, and of course my magic wand is also a very important tool for me.
Yeah.
I'm wearing it every day, all time, always next to
That's
me.
awesome. So what is your wand? Like, what's the core? What's the length? The wood?
Okay, my wand is Wood, 12.5 inches with a dragon heartstring core.
Ooh.
And this was my what's the English word? In Germany, it's like when you are finishing your studies, you have
Oh,
to
not
uh,
masterpiece.
like, it's kind of a masterpiece, yes.
I know
And
the word. I know what you're talking about. What is it? Oh God. Oh, I know the word, and it's escaping me now. But it's like,
not
yeah. But like, I used to be part of a gunsmithing course, and
yes,
we were supposed to capstone. There it is.
yes, it is.
Yeah, so we at the end of the course we would take everything that we learned from being a gunsmith, and then we would put our own gun together or do something to show off our work of the past 2 years. So
Yes,
I guess that would be what you had, a capstone. The one your wand was a
yes.
capstone.
Yeah, in German it's called Meisterstück, like masterpiece. And this was my final exam to become a wand maker. And it's a bit crooked, but it fits to my posture quite well.
Right? Yeah, I
Yes,
think that's perfect. Like everybody's wand should be just a little bit crooked, just like everyone else's. You know?
it is like this, yes. And it has a lot of small nicks and scratches. Yes, I'm using it since 15 years every day. But it's supposed to be a tool. It's a magic tool for me.
Oh yeah, for I mean I've already gotten a few nicks and scratches on mine. I haven't had hold on a second. I even have a couple of mine. Hold on. This was my very first. This was a this was from Alevon's. This was my
Mhm.
very first. This one was I think of 14, and I know it off the top of my head, but it's like it had like a really odd core from a dragon. I think it was like the scale from a dragon's tail or something like that. But this was my very
Mhm.
first. And I accidentally sat on it, and now it's got like a permanent bend to it. But I picked this up from a Wiccan shop in Des Moines, Iowa. Like this was my very first and my most treasured. This I've done cosplays with this and stuff like that. So it has its own few nicks and scratches as well.
Perfect, perfect.
Um, so third question: what is your most memorable wand that you've worked on?
Ooh, there are a few. Like the easiest way for me would say my own ones, because I really sweated a lot during the manufacturing. A lot of things went really bad in my final exams making this one.
Yeah, I
But
can see that.
like there are, like, also from my beginning as being a wand maker, I had some really interesting orders from Japan. Also, like most Japanese witches and wizards are very special. They've got a very special taste, a very artistic taste. Not,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not the sort
You see
yeah.
that in their like pop culture, like very
Yes,
artistic.
yes. It's not so much about the classical forms and the traditional shapes. It's really artistic. And the very first really complicated custom wand was for a young witch. She's called Mia, and the wand had like a small hand carved finger guard. Like,
Oh,
uh,
I think I've seen photos of that.
yeah, I have it on my Instagram account. It's like more or less like the handle of a very filigrane teacup,
Oh
and
yeah, that's I know the
yeah,
one you're talking about. That is
and it.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much. But it took me like 3 or 4 tries.
Hey, practice makes
Yes,
perfect. Like
yes.
and some
You
of
only
the
learn from mistakes. Yes.
like and I love some of the ones that you've made. I've gone through like the stuff that you've been tagged in like on your Instagram, and I love Dry Dia's one with her costume. When I saw it for the first time, it just reminded me so much of Outlander. Like it was just amazing. Her little witch cosplay, like it was perfect. Like with a couple of
Yes.
wand Yeah, shout out if she's watching.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
And all this Celtic herbal theme she's doing, real beautiful.
yeah, I agree. It's amazing what she's capable of. Fourth, which witch that's a tongue twister. Which witch or wizard would be the most exciting to meet in real life?
Um, this would be Gandalf, I guess.
Gandalf. Yeah, that's a good answer. I probably should have said Harry
Like
Potter.
Gandalf.
But
Gandalf. Yes.
um,
And from the Harry Potter universe, my favorite character teacher is Professor Lupin.
oh yes, I love Lupin too. Like I would love to meet him. Yeah, I would understand, his pains and suffering. I actually have osteopenia in my knees
Mm.
and my lower back, which is like one step away from osteoporosis, and I always have aches and pains just like he does. And it's just, you know, I feel like we could bond, trauma bond, you know.
Yeah, I guess he tries his best, and he always has a piece of chocolate in his pocket.
Oh yeah, I love chocolate.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah. All right. Um, who is your inspiration for like Wandmaker? Like who like were you inspired by to like start the career, or even just like you know um in your techniques? Like, is there someone that you watched growing up, or even just like as you were doing your studies, like take inspiration from?
Not especially a person, but more like an aesthetic. I'm a huge fan of Victorian age aesthetics, and like in German it's called Biedermeier. It is the age, like the early Victorian age begins about 1870 till 1895, and around the
What's the German word for that again?
um, yeah, actually, the German word for this is Klassizismus, and then 20 years later, so about between 1910 and 1925, there became the Jugendstil in Germany, or Belle Epoque in France.
Okay.
Um, I don't know the English word now, but
So
uh,
for us, it's Victorian and then Edwardian.
yeah, kind of Edwardian, but the very next step to Edwardian, from the step from Edwardian to the new classic in the 40s. So
Oh
like
yeah,
all
that's
this,
oh gosh, I
yeah,
know the word. It's not New Age. It Art Deco. There it is, Art Deco.
article. Yes, it's article. Yes, this time inspires me a lot. Well, there are some want makers, of course, which always inspired me. Like my Italian teacher, he's called Giuseppe Fungucelli. He is a legend, really. Right now, I think he's way over 90 years old now.
Wow.
And he's really an absolute master, and he influenced from the 50s up to the 70s. It was his like most he made his most impressive work there, and he really made really classic, beautiful ones with a lot of filigrane inlays. Like all my knowledge of metal wire inlays, I have this from Master Fungucelli.
Oh, so
He's really
all of the metal inlays they use, specifically the most recent ones with like the twirl of metal around
yeah.
the wand length. That is awesome. I was always wondering like, how are you doing that? Like, do you have just like a spool, and as the thing rotates, you're just feeding it? Oh,
Yes, there's all this metalwork. It's called the classic Italian style, and actually it's from the about 1400, 1500.
wow. So
It's
really old.
from the yeah, it's from the dagger and sword making. The handles of daggers were
Oh,
actually
oh
been
yeah.
made with the spiral inlays, and yeah, it's original comes from this age. It's from daggers and swords and weapons making.
Oh, that is awesome. And we have wow, at least two people watching the stream right now.
Oh, hi there. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll get some more people as I upload the actual content. That's actually when people pay attention. I don't do live stream often.
Oh, no problem.
All right, let me pull up the question scan. Here we go. So, do you
Yes.
use
Yeah. Excuse me.
do you utilize any special techniques or skills in your craft? Like, has there ever been like, where you have to like invent something to like make a specific, um, pattern? Like, if you're like working on something and then they request it, and then you realize, oh wait, I can't do this with my normal set of tools. How do you like come up with something? Like, do you make something? Like, I've seen people like, okay, so there's this like I'll give you an example. So table leg, but he really wants like this really neat little pattern that no one can see, but he will see. But the problem is
Mhm.
the leg is already attached to the table. How do you get but you can't get like a Dremel up there to like Dremel it.
Mhm.
How would you work around that?
Yeah, this is something which I actually come quite often around it. It's the I don't think if I invented this technique, but I often make like interceptions. Like if there is a spiral running this way, and the spiral is not fading out, but it has a very sharp edge to another sphere or to another material.
Okay.
It would be very hard to carve this groove out very smooth. So I cut it in pieces. I drill a hole through the whole wand, and then I work on every section separately.
Okay,
And
so for example, if you like on your one, if you had to do that, you would break up each of those little bulbs, I want to say, to essentially do that pattern.
maybe yes, but in this case it would be different because this is rotational symmetrically. So I can just turn it on my lathe. This is no problem. But it would be more hard if there is a spiral pattern
Yeah.
which is not fading out but has very sharp edges. And then I have this. Wait a second. I made this tool for me. It's like two brass pieces with
Oh.
screw inserts. And I used this technique on a recent wand I made. Actually, what I do is I take my. Give me a second.
Yep, no problem.
I take a wood blank. I cut it to the length of the section I want. Drill a hole there,
Okay.
and then I tap it, and I drill a hole there and tap it, and then I can screw these parts in, and then I can mount it to my lathe. Like this is a flat bottom, and this has a drill point in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the flat part is mounted to the motor
Of the
of the
lathe,
lathe,
yeah, the
and
pot, the die or
yes,
whatever.
and this thing is connected to the life
Tailstone.
center.
Yeah, the
Tastes like,
tailstone.
and then it spins. And in the middle section, I can make spirals, grooves, inlays, everything with carved surfaces but very sharp edges.
Okay.
This wouldn't be possible if I have to do it all of one piece.
Okay. Yeah, that's really awesome. And I noticed for mine, you did do it in three sections. You the the handle,
Yes,
the silver ring, and then the actual wood. I've
yes,
been
yes.
meaning to ask, how did you what did you use to polish it?
There are several steps included. Like first, what I have. First, I'm using every paper or grinding paper in the grid 250, 320, and 400. And then I have this grinding fabric. I don't know the English word. It's about grid of 800. And then I have this steel wool. It's very fine metal wool with a grid of 4,000.
Okay,
And
that's really big.
that's really fine, yes. And these steps are all on the lathe. And after this, I have a buffing wheel. It's like a cotton wheel spinning really fast, and then I'm polishing the wand like for a smoking pipe. It's the same technique, for example.
Oh, okay.
And then as a finish, I add antique furniture wax. I have it here. Sorry for getting out of the frame all the time.
No, 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 it's fine.
Um,
This is actually kind of nice. Oh, wow.
um, This is from a very small manufacturer from Berlin in Germany, and it's a furniture wax
Oh yeah,
based
I can see you
based
use it a
on,
lot.
yeah. I always scoop it out from the middle, and it's based on beeswax and lavender oil and citrus oil. It's complete organic. It's like in Germany we have this qualification. It's child toy proof, so you can chew on it. I don't know if someone wants
Yeah,
to do this.
my son has not had a chance to like. He's looked at it, but he's not had a chance to chew on it, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
Yeah, but it wouldn't harm him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all I use. And if vegan magical people are buying ones and don't want to use beeswax, I have a boiled organic linen oil, which
Ooh.
is basically the same, but doesn't smell as good.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true. Let's see here. What type of wand are you working on right now?
Right now, ooh, I finished this 10 minutes before our live stream. Uh, This is one of my catalog models, and this is the wand of a former teacher of mine from Mrs. Frida Vogelhuber from the
Oh,
Black Forest. Yeah, and this is like a kind of a replica of the wand she used all the time.
that is awesome. That is what's the core, the length, and the wood?
It's 12.5 inches. It's made of Bavarian ash,
Ooh.
and the core. Wait a second. Ah, yeah, this. It's called Eisenkraut. Verbena is the English name. It's a herb,
Oh.
and I stock this in leaves, in dried leaf form. Let me get one out for you.
Oh wow.
Like, and to put it in the wand, I, I grind it, and then I put the grinded powder inside the wand.
Oh, that is awesome. Because like I've seen you when you did mine, I saw you took my unicorn hair and you kind of just like
Yeah.
I don't what was that tool that you used to like put the core in?
Um, it's very good that my workshop is very small. I can reach.
Yeah, right.
Um, yeah, it's just a needle
Okay.
with a beautiful handle. It's a very old tool. I think it's 100 years old.
Really?
And actually,
Wow.
it's a shoemaker needle.
Oh, that is
And I doubt the tip of it because I don't need it so sharp.
right.
But yes.
That is awesome. Like the tools that you are showing me are just like awesome. Like I mean, you come up with the most I want to say craziest, but I feel like that's the wrong word. But like you come up with the most awesomest stuff to like just do all
Thank
this.
you.
Like I can't imagine doing this for a living. Like the time that it takes to do each one. I mean, like how many wands do you just like get out per day? Like I mean, is it one per day, two per day? Like how often is this?
It depends. Like I've got the last years between 20, 30, 40 orders in a month.
Wow.
So, and it differs. I have my catalog ones.
Right.
It's like it's not pre-manufactured. I still manufacture each one by order, but the design and specifications are given.
Okay. So
And
you do
and
custom ones and then you catalog ones.
right. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And my catalog ones are of course a bit faster to produce because I don't have to talk about the design aspects with my customers.
Okay.
And then, but mainly I have to say I make about 60% custom ones, 40% catalog models.
Okay. And have you
So
ever
the,
considered doing like more catalog ones? Like, have you ever considered going the full character ones and making stuff from the movies? Like, have you ever thought about making Sirius Black's one, Remus Lupin's one, and having them as catalog models?
actually, I'm not so interested in this topic. Like, on the one side, it's about copyright law, of course.
Oh,
I
really?
don't actually, I'm not allowed, and I don't want to rip off someone else's ideas. Like, I've got I've got two models in my shop which are inspired by the movie because I really adore them. It's the wand Bauhaus, and it belonged to a very famous German architect from the 1920s, Walter Gropius. He made some splendid architecture stuff, and he also had a wand. This is his wand, and I have a wand. It's called the original wand in my shop, and it's very very simple, very traditional, very old, and it's what's the English word? Reminiscent. Reminiscent. Yeah, sorry. It's like a reminiscent to the Harry Potter universe because I also adore it, of course. But I don't want to make just blunt copies or rip someone off.
I get that. I figured that would be the question, but I've seen people, on Etsy do that, and they've all to get around it. They've always kind of named them kind of like alluding to the character. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen one that's Harry's wand called the Phoenix. I've seen Hermione's called Vinewood. I've seen Lupin's called Honey. But like, that's understandable. But like, I get where you're coming from. Copyright law is copyright law, and sometimes it's completely unfair. I mean, with YouTube, I've seen people copyright strike trying to like claim that it is their content when in reality it's not. It's really frustrating sometimes as a YouTuber. It's one of the main reasons why I retired, and then I figured just do one more year. One more year, it's fine.
Yeah. It's also I think it's something about my pride as an artist. Like, I went to school so long and I worked so hard for my master's degree. When it comes to my own wants, I want them to be my own.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sell things because perhaps I can sell it. And I have to say the funny thing is when I look at the order numbers, my like more Wizarding World ones, the two models, they are not my best sellers. My best sellers are by far my own designs.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love the designs that you've done. You are a master at what you can create.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just love it. And like the attention to detail that you put in the packaging, like that's just like you don't have to do that. Like, but like the fact that you do, I know, but the fact that you do is just like you go above and beyond to make sure that we as a customer are satisfied. And like I legit cried when I opened up the wand for the first time and I saw that you had written on the parchment paper like, please remember to feed the owl. Like my brain just like, oh my god, I'm literally living in the Harry Potter universe. Like he's got
thank you very much.
He's got postage stamps from Hogsmeade. He actually went so far and beyond. I have it right here. Come on, grab it. To actually wax stamp my certificate of authenticity. Like you didn't have to go that hard with the detail, but you did, and it's just amazing. Like I love it, and I just feel so bad because you have to do it.
No, it's no, you don't have to feel bad. It's a real pleasure. In my opinion, it's the whole package, and I think everything is about the experience. And it's not only about the craftsmanship and about the wand and not using plastic or chemicals. It's the whole package. When you order your wand, I don't use any kind of plastic gluing stripes. Everything is without plastic. Everything is only paper used. I use like a wrapping string like you used 100 years ago if you wanted to send something.
Yeah, that is
And
the attention to detail is just chef's kiss.
thank you very much. It's about the whole experience and about the whole package. I think how awful would it be if you open up one of my boxes and it's filled with these little plastic beans?
Oh yeah, the foam little pellets.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, and not only that, it just takes away from
It's a
the
nightmare.
experience. Like
Yes.
I definitely felt like I was in Hogsmeade. Just like my entire world
Perfect.
faded around me, and I'm sitting there in Diagon Alley, and I'm opening up my box, and I'm just going, Abracadabra.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And like I also the wrapping paper. I'm crunching it first, but it looks old.
Yeah.
stuff like this.
Yeah,
It's the whole
details like
experience.
that sell it, really.
It's really important.
I'm actually just keeping it. Like I don't care that it's like paper and you can recycle it. I am physically keeping it for the rest of my life.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm very honored.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. Well, then you pretty much answered my next question, which is what is the number one type of wand most people request, specific wood, core, and length?
Yes, I can give an answer to that. I released the Frida Vogelhuber wand last fall, and since then it became my top seller. And the other two models are the Madame Schnur Solar. It's 11 3/4 inches Bavarian pear with a unicorn hair, and the model Carpe Noctem. It's more rustic, it looks more rustic. It's 11 3/4 inches ash, Bavarian ash, the same wood this is made out of, but with a dragon heartstring core. And the most fiery dragon heartstrings come from Norway, from my former teacher Ragnar Gunnarsson. He is also a dragon breeder.
Yeah, and that's awesome because I even asked for Norwegian spruce and like you delivered and it's perfect.
Yeah, Ragnar sent this piece to me.
Oh, he did. So he sent you an
Yeah,
actual.
of course.
Awesome. That is sweet.
Yeah, like everything is interwebbed. Everything is connected.
So yeah, you can get parts from basically anyone. Like if I wanted like what is there's a famous tree type in Japan. If I wanted like a wood from that, you could get that basically.
It might take a while and it costs a fortune, but yes, I could. And there are some wood which is just banned from the earth, from not from the earth, but it's just banned from the market for good reasons.
Yeah.
Like
I,
there's a West African ebony type, which is just banned, and it's good that you can't buy it because they are ruining the environment and everything is. They are just burning down woods and cutting down whole forests.
yeah,
It's awful, and it's a very good thing that this type of wood is banned. And also in South America, there are some like puttock and some snake skin kind of rosewood woods, which are just banned from the market, and this is a very good thing.
What about English teak? You know, like that they would use in old passenger carriages. What about that? Like teak, is that still banned?
It depends. There are in the meanwhile there are like wood developers and wood farmers with an FSC certification, and you can get it again.
Okay, yeah, because
But yes, but I've got some old stock. It's like I bought it from a wood worker who closed his shop in the early 80s, the 1980s, and he had woods from his grandfather. So he had a wood stock which was like 200 years old.
so
And
the
I
same
got,
type of wood, but around the time of the Titanic, basically.
yes, kind of, yes, exactly. And I got my hands on some of these pieces.
Yeah, I would love to be able to actually have teak. I one of my other side hobbies is what is it? Oh, live steam.
Mhm.
So like there's I'm sure you've heard of model trains.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so there are replica versions of that are ride-on scale. So you know how like you have those little ride-on trains around Christmas time and stuff like that, but like this is a full-on hobby, and they actually do work on steam.
Yes.
And a friend of mine has a replica of a British engine called the Invicta, and
Mhm.
the Invicta had a wooden boiler jacket, and we were trying to figure out what kind of like wood would have been used to insulate the boiler. And I'm thinking
Yes.
like, well, would it be teak? Because teak is very resilient, and I mean, it was used on the deck of the Titanic, and well, actually, no, it wasn't used on the deck. But if you actually look on the wreck today, the edges of where the the teaking, I'm sorry, where the deck was, they had teak margin planking, and that teak is still on the wreck in place. It hasn't been eaten away. So being 100 years under the water, that wood is still intact, and meanwhile the rest of all the deck panels, that were there are gone.
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, so like trying to get a hold of some of that teak to use for a boiler jacket would be awesome, but of course we can't find it and we don't know who to purchase it from. But that's besides the point. But that I just love like the history of wood. Like you've given me a whole new appreciation for it. Like you've talked about the Amazon being cut down and burned, and then you have the African ones too. Like this is like your love for nature and all things interconnected with one another is just like the fact that you don't use plastics, you don't use foam, you don't use any type of glue that could be harmful to the environment. It's just inspiring.
Yes, and also any type of chemicals at
Yeah.
all.
Oh, right, chemicals. I forgot that too. But yeah, that's just inspiring. The fact that you are doing this all in nature, and the only thing that you probably use, you know, is the lubrication for the machines.
Kind of, yes, kind of. And but I have to say, I have to be honest, of course. From time to time, I use a small drop of CA glue
Right.
because for securing uh, a screw insert.
Oh, right.
Otherwise, it would get loose over the years. So I use a small
Yeah.
drop of CA clay. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's understandable. But you're not like using like big gigantic
Nah.
cans. Yeah, you're just using. That's fine. That's understandable.
Yes, it's also also like if I have to use a CA glue, it's always on the inside. Your skin will never get in contact of any kind of chemicals, and this is also a very important point. I hope I don't overstretch my answers.
No, no, no. It's
Uh,
fine. You're giving me plenty of content here. I'm thrilled
oh,
for it.
perfect. It's a pretty curious thing if you buy like a plastic toy.
Right.
A plastic toy has every kind of plastic has a chemical softener in it. Otherwise, the plastic would be very brittle and just break or shatter. And it also has some chemicals inside to protect it from UV light because the UV light is also making plastic brittle.
Right.
So this is what you have in a. I don't have even plastic. Oh yeah, this one. Perhaps the handle
Yeah.
of my tool. Like this piece of plastic has a softener in it and some chemicals to protect it from UV light. So as we all know, chemicals can be solved. Unfortunately, our skin has natural solvents.
Yeah.
The oil in our skin and sweat solve chemicals.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and this is what happened when you touch a plastic piece every day for 10 hours. Your sweat and oil, like natural, you don't have to need to have like greedy or sticky fingers. The normal skin oil
yeah.
uh, is solving out chemicals, and they travel through the skin into your blood, into your body, into your brain,
Yeah.
and they stay there forever.
Yeah. I know. That's just mind-boggling when you think about that. Yeah. I mean, just
And yes, and okay, perhaps I don't know. Like I'm using safety glasses, and they are made of plastic.
yeah.
And I don't know. There will be some micro elements of chemicals
Yeah.
used in
That's
my
understandable.
blood,
So
but
the fact you're not using them in a manufactural process really helps a lot.
yes, yeah, and I don't want to manufacture a product which can poison you. Like it will poison you if you use it for 1,000 years, of course. But just the idea behind, I want to make something clean.
Yeah.
It's also about
You're leaving a
the
clean legacy behind. That's what you're doing.
yes, and it's also about the magic. Magic has nothing to do with plastic and chemicals.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I
It's only for toys.
that's what I love about your wands is that just like while waiting for mine to be shipped, I'm just watching all your previous like reels and stuff like that. I'm just going through it. I'm just like I get like sucked in, like just like
Thank you.
seeing the tools whir away, seeing your steady hand just going like zzz, or whatever, just like it's it's magical in its own way, just getting sucked into
Oh,
the
thank you very much.
nitty-gritty. But that is just amazing at what you do, and the fact that you're leaving, no chemical trace other than a drop of CA glue. You know, no one's gonna complain about a drop of that. But that is awesome. The fact that you're doing all of this, you know, it's great. All right. So, next question. Favorite Harry Potter book and movie? Favorite character from the books? Well, actually, yeah, you already probably answered that, Lupin. So let's start off with the first one. Favorite book or and the movie? Which one?
The Prisoner of Azkaban.
For the movie or the book?
Both, I guess.
All right.
It
What
has
was
a very dark and gloomy feeling. I like this.
yeah. For me, I think it would be Goblet of Fire because
All perfect.
yeah, I just I like for that would be for the book for the Goblet of Fire. For the movie, Prisoner of Azkaban. It has such a different tone from the rest of the film because
Yes.
like you have the first two, you got the wisdom, you know, the wizardry, the magicalness of it, and then you have Chamber of Secrets, which is a little darker, but it still has that childhood innocence. And then three is
Yes.
just where everything kind of starts to turn, and you're like, Sirius Black. Okay, he's innocent. How the huh? And then Goblet of Fire is just where everything just thrown on its head. You know, it's just like I love the fact that I just love the fact that every different book has a different tone than the last.
Yes.
Like, and then the
Yeah.
movies are kind of like follow the same pattern. So yeah, my comfort film is definitely Prisoner of Azkaban.
It really is.
Yeah, book is definitely Goblet of Fire. And Deathly Hollows is probably my second. I actually won that on the night of release at my local public library.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so what do you think of the eight Harry Potter HBO adaptation? Are you excited, nervous, or hesitant about it?
Um, I'm actually looking forward to it from a commercial point.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like I'm a, it's like I don't know. It's like I'm not the biggest Potterhead in the world.
all right.
Of course, I adore the universe and everything and the aesthetics. And yeah, I'm a Wandmaker, so of course there are connections. But yeah, I don't know. Like from when last year or 2 years ago, the Hogwarts Legacy game was
Oh
released.
yeah, I saw that you
Uh,
made one of those ones, and I would love to buy
yeah,
one from. I would love to buy that specific one from you. But personally speaking, I know we talked about this before, but I would love to find someone who made the Keepers one. I
no,
know
it's like
I know
yeah,
there's got to be a
it's
way to do it naturally. I just know there's got to be a way.
actually it's no problem. Like I had a lot of requests about this legacy ones, and these are like custom ones. If one of my customer says, "Hey, I'm a huge legacy fan. Can you make my one from the game in real life for me?" I say, "Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. I
Let's
love
let's talk about it."
yeah,
Yes.
I love the ones in the game. Like the fact that you can customize each handle and they're like collectibles. I mean,
Yes.
some of the designs when they're blank, like without the handle, they just look a little weird. Like there's one that I don't remember what it was. It's the spiral wand, and it's just two pointed ends. It looks nothing like like a wand because my brain is trying to put a handle on it, but there's no handle. It's just literally a stick. It's just 2 points on one end. But like, the fact that you can customize it to however you want. You don't like you don't. It's not like you're set. You know,
Yes.
unless you link your Warner Brothers Games account, and then you get your set one from like what was it? It's Pottermore. It was formerly Pottermore, and then became Wizarding World. Oh, that also reminds me. What is your opinion of the Fantastic Beast movies? I'll tell you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
My mother always says if you can't say anything good about something, just don't say anything
yeah,
about it.
yeah. I agree. The first one was perfect. Sequel was and then third
It's a
one.
different approach.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's just a different thing. It's just they took this universe and made something new and own out of it, and this is actually always a good thing to do, but it's just not my taste.
yeah.
I like the
Yeah, I agree. It is not for everyone, but I love the fact that they decided instead of doing something like in the 1990s, like they did with the actual Harry Potter movie, and just kind of like having like
Yeah.
an offshoot of the main event. So like you have Harry and Ron and Hermione going Horcrux hunting, and then you just have this random Muggle born in Germany, just just just
Yeah.
literally, I don't know, smoking a pipe or something like that. But like the fact that they went back to the 1920s and then they were able to like take all of this 1920s Great Depression Art Deco and just throw it into a cauldron and make a movie out of it was just awesome.
That's really perfect. Yes, and really, I like it. But uh, I don't know. I don't like the storytelling so
Yeah.
much, and I don't know.
Mm,
But it's fine movies, and everybody who likes it, perfect.
yeah. What casting rumor are you most excited for the HBO series?
That's a really curious question. Snape, perhaps. I'm really interested because he's the whole character is based around the artist and around the actors so much. And like, if you take a close look at Severus Snape in the books, in the books, he's kind of different. The actor and how he implicated his acting to the character made a huge impact how the world is looking at Snape now.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if the new actor will try to copy the old one,
Right.
or if
Papa Aristu is the rumor, I think.
I I don't know. Yeah, uh,
Yeah.
like either is he trying to replicate the acting,
I don't think he should. I don't
or
think he should replicate because
no,
everyone knows.
he should develop his own new character, perhaps more based on the book or more based on him.
Yeah, I agree. For me, my favorite casting rumor is Cillian Murphy as Voldemort
Hmm,
because he was
perfect.
yeah he was Tommy Shelby in Peaky Blinders. I don't know if you ever seen that, but
Yeah,
like the respect that he commanded, you know. And then I saw him in Oppenheimer, and
yeah,
Oppenheimer is supposed to be very gaunt, very worn out by the end of the war because he created death and destruction. Literally, I mean, it's the quote: "I am death. I am now death, the destroyer of worlds." And the way he just looks so gaunt to me, like the sallow cheeks, the no life in him whatsoever. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, he could totally play Voldemort. Like,
yeah. Of course.
yeah. But I agree. Like, I'm looking forward to it with apprehension because I don't agree necessarily with all of the casting rumors, but I am going in with both feet. I'm looking forward to it, especially if it's going to be a more faithful adaptation and they're going to bring in stuff that wasn't in the movies.
Well, like it's I think the this it is concepted, sorry, for running 8 years.
Yeah, TV series.
Like every year one season based on one book. So I think to fill a whole year they have to put a lot of things in it.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm thinking I like the number one thing I'm looking forward to is Peeves. I want to see how they
Yes,
handle Peeves.
yeah, Peeves definitely yes.
Because I didn't even know about him until Hogwarts Legacy came out because
Yeah,
he's so prominent in it. Like I'm like, wait, who is this guy? Who is this poltergeist? I didn't know, had no idea who he was, and I looked it up. It's like, wait, he was in the books. Why isn't he in the movie? Again, it's been a while
yeah.
since I've read the books. I gotta dig them out. I don't even know where they ended up. All right. What type? Oh, I skipped a question. What is your typical workflow from concept to finished product? Do you sketch, prototype, or use digital design tools?
Um, all of them. First, I have an idea, of course, and then I'm thinking and dreaming of this idea a lot for a very long time in my head. Then I make some sketches, pencil paper, very quick, very rough. Um, if the shape on the paper is getting there where I wanted to have, then I go to
Oh, hold
my
on.
computer and then I make a working. Yes.
Yeah, say that again because you kind of like lagged there
Yeah.
a little bit.
Okay. When I finish the sketching on paper, I go to my computer and make a like a not a 3D model, but like kind of a CAD model.
Okay.
because like proportions, measurements has to be very precise, and like for this part, it is precisely 18 millimeters. I don't want it to be like 15.3 or 16.7. It has to be very odd numbers. It has to be very clean numbers.
Okay.
This is also very important for a good sketch, for good design, not to just do it. Everything needs a system. Like in Germany, we have this thing, it's called der goldene Schnitt. It's the golden ratio, or this Fenerbahce, nee, not Fenerbahce. Ah, my English sucks. This is like a snail circle, and it gives the proportions like 1/3 and 2/3. I'm sure there is this English word for it. In German, it's called goldener Schnitt, golden cut, and it is a rule from the medieval age, like Leonardo da Vinci
Right.
figured it out. The length of the handle in proportion to the length of the shaft should be around about like 1/3 and 2/3, or like 2.733. And everything has to be like thought about very deeply. I'm not just doing anything.
Yeah.
Even if it looks like this, no, everything is very exact. German, zack zack.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it
literally,
doesn't work.
you just like are blowing my mind with all this detail. Like you're just going like yeah, no, I know like for me personally, if I'm making something like I'll give you an example. I'm making a gun. Like if I'm making a 1911 or something like that, and it needs to be within like what's the word I'm looking for? Like if the tolerance is like 1/1000th of an inch, if I'm over that tolerance, just even just the slightest bit, I don't care. If it works, it works. But like for you, you are just like so detail and precise oriented that it makes me jealous.
Ach, naja.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but things are like in German engineering, we also say es läuft sich ein, it is running in, like if you have tolerances and things are moving to each other, they are grinding
yeah,
each other, and perhaps the first 100 times it moves, it just rubs a bit, but after 1,000 cycles, it is very smooth. So
yeah.
there are still some tolerances left, but I try to be exact as possible.
Yeah, because I agree. Yeah, like you like. I mean, if it's only out of tolerance just by like that little bit, like to work, it'll grind a little bit. I don't really care, but like you go above and beyond in your detail and your preciseness, and I love it. You are amazing at what you do.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah,
It's also about quality management, I
yeah,
guess.
I know.
Like when a customer orders one of my catalog models, it should look like the one on the picture.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean,
I can just make, this time it's a bit thinner, this time it's a bit thicker. No, it's not working.
yeah,
It
I
has to
mean,
be
I
like.
get that. Yeah, I feel like I'm laying on the compliments thickly right here, but I'm just like I'm very appreciative of it. Like you didn't have to like take your time out of your day to talk to me, just some random guy from America. But I appreciate it so much. All right. What type of wood do you prefer to woodwork? Sorry, work with, and what is your favorite woodworking technique?
Yeah, that's very easy to answer. My favorite wood type is steamed Bavarian pear wood.
Okay.
It's an absolute delight to work with. I have it here on my. I don't know. Can the audience see this?
Yeah, they can
I have,
see. Yeah, they can see your entire workshop. What I can see is your
I have
fingers.
there. I have a wood stock.
Yeah,
I have like 50 wood types in stock all the time.
yeah, because
Everything is moving.
yeah, what they can see is they can see the mill behind you. They can see the whatever that white box is on your right, and then all the wood blanks up on the shelf up there.
Yeah, like here, all
Yeah.
wood planks, and under the table and on the other wall are all wood planks. Yeah, Bavarian steamed pear wood.
Oh,
Um, the steaming makes the wood grain structure even more firm.
okay. Really, I
If
didn't
you
know
take,
that.
yeah, like normally you have this year rings. Is this in English the same
Yeah.
year rings? No, normally you have a significant difference between the bright and dark rings. Pearwood has a very firm structure from the beginning, and through the steaming, all this. Now it's getting a bit complicated.
That's fine. I think most of my audience will understand.
Okay. When a tree is a living organism, and wood is a natural grown material. So no tree in the world grows straight, like 30 meters straight, without any bending, any moving. A tree has to endure wind pressure and humidity and hot summers and cold winters. And this is the reason why the wood is never firm. So the lower part of the tree is very hard. Then you get a 5 meters very soft wood, and then 2 meters very hard, and then very soft and very hard. And the complicated thing is, when you are cutting wood boards out of a log, then the wood boards are not straight because of this inner strength inside of the tree growing and moving all the time.
Yeah.
And when you're cutting straight boards, right after cutting, they're crooked because of this inner powers which are always working inside a tree. And the steaming is kind of neutralizing this Spannung auf Deutsch. I don't know the English word for Spannung.
So it's basically loosening up the fibers and basically making it from curved to straight.
Yeah, actually, it is not moving the fibers. It is like influencing. It is like the fibers are very compressed,
tight, yeah,
and tight,
yeah.
But not structural, but energetical. And the steaming is releasing this strength, and everything is smooth from the energetic, but not from the firm. So when you work with steamed wood, it stays more straight. It is easier to work with,
right,
because all this inner twisting is a bit relaxed.
Okay, that's awesome.
Oh, sorry if my answers are too long.
No, I appreciate it. This. I'm learning new stuff myself. Speaking of
Okay,
wood,
and yes.
do you still have the wood blank from my wand, or did you use all the wood making it?
I think there might be a small rest in the fire basket.
All right.
I could take a look, but I didn't get 2.5 meters of wood logs.
Yeah,
I just got a blank.
I would just love to see what it looked like, before you turned it into this. So
I can take a look at my stock if I can find some spruce.
yeah,
but
no worries. If you can find it, you can send it to me on Instagram. We don't need to do it right now. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. Favorite wand core.
Favorite one core. It depends.
It depends. Yeah.
It totally depends. Like my new favorite is the verbena herb.
Right.
It is perfect. Wait a second.
What all you have for cores?
I have a range. Wait a second. I have cores which I use like every day. Black testrel hairs, Turkish phoenix feathers, unicorn hair from China.
Ooh, hello, my core.
And Norwegian dragon heartstrings. Fiery. Oh, and they're still a bit hot. Yeah. But there are actually there are like endless possibilities, and it's all about the custom demands of my customers.
Kelpie hair, right?
Kelpie hair, yes, it's pretty similar to the Testrel hair. Like Testrels and Kelpies, it's like a magical creature, very connected to horse.
Okay,
it's actually a black magic horse, if you want to say it really stupid.
I know Thestrals are. So
and Thestrals.
Yeah, I'll explain my answer real quick. So in Harry Potter lore audience, for those who are not Potterheads, Thestrals are winged horses that can only be seen if a person has seen death, and so they kind of have like this dark look to them, like a dark outlook on life. So if you can see Thestrals, it's a dark thing, but in reality, they're just misunderstood.
Yes, and actually, these thestrals in the book are inspired of the Kelpie. The Kelpie is a originally Scottish
Okay.
magical creature. It's like a water ghost, water demon. It's like in the Highlands, the Kelpie horses are living next to the rivers, next to the lakes,
So basically,
and
it's the
have
Loch Ness monster.
yeah, in the shape of a horse,
Yeah.
more or less. Yeah, and like kestrels and kelpies are from the same family, so um, uh, it's kind of the
It's
same
all
thing.
connected.
It's all connected, yes. But when it's about course, it's also about the custom demands of my customers. Like I had a love letter, and I turned it to a really thin roll, and I put the love letter inside of my wand.
Wow.
Or I use rose petals for vegan magical people. Or I use like fall leaves, which I grab out of a fall storm.
Oh wow.
Or I also had a piece of newspaper from a very special day to put inside of a core. Like the wood type is giving like the first layer of powers.
Okay.
Like you need a wand, a wood wand with magical properties. Otherwise, it doesn't work so much. Like you could make magic with a plastic pen, but if it is a magical wood, it works better, of course.
Yeah, it's more
So the
closer to
yeah, so
nature.
the wood type gives like the basement of magical power, but the core is giving the character.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
that is that is really interesting. So if I wanted to get a wand that had a core, like of a really old newspaper, like I feel like I'm sacrilegious saying this, but I would love to get like a hold of an old newspaper clipping talking about the Titanic disaster and just like put that in the wand.
You can get it. It's quite pricey, but you can get a New York Times from 1912, 14. I don't know the exact date. They're still out there. You can get it.
Yeah.
You can send it to me. I can put it in the wand.
That's
Very often, yeah, it's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah. I would I mean this is my I mean I would love to like have a. I know it would probably be dirty and it would probably wouldn't work because you again chemicals, but like I have a steam engine here that was carved out of coal from West Virginia,
Oh, nice.
and it would I mean it is covered in resin, but I would love to have of a wand handle made of coal.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that
Perfect.
and I know that they actually do recover coal from the Titanic because
Yep.
that's not like what's the word I'm looking for it's not illegal to harvest the coal because it's a mineral. Because
Yeah, yeah.
when the ship sank, all that coal spilt out, and you can actually get it with like a certificate of authenticity. Oh, that just gave me an idea. Just get a little tiny lump of coal, send that to you. You can grind that up and put it into one.
I have coal here.
Oh, well, I mean, I meant
Uh,
coal from the Titanic. If I was like,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but I've got this is coal.
Oh,
I've got it. Yeah. This is burnt. I can draw a black dot. No.
yeah.
Uh, this is coal mixed with salt,
oh,
and it's against bad magic.
okay.
Yeah, like
That's
it's
awesome.
it's binding and catching uh, bad spells.
Hmm,
I always have it as a token in my workshop
that's awesome. All right.
because who knows? Now I have coal on my nose. Now, yeah.
Last question. What would
Yes.
you say to those who are just getting started and want into wand making? Any suggestions or tips and tricks for beginners?
Hey, of course, that's a lovely question. First thing, just do it. There's every mis
Insert
every
Steve
mis
Shia LaBeouf. Just do it.
just do it and buy some Nike running shoes. No, there are no mistakes. Just do it. If you want, try it. Um, you can be creative. You can use chopsticks and hot glue for the beginning. Why not? Only to get a feeling for it. You don't need fancy tools and a own workshop
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you want to be a bit more serious about this topic, you need good tools, sharp tools. I think sharp tools are like sharp carving tools. And in the beginning, wait a second, I have it here in my apron. You don't need fancy, expensive carving tools. You can get a cutter knife,
Yeah.
and these are sharp like crazy. And you can actually carve pretty good details with this. You can get some files, some wait, um, so like this. This is rough.
Right.
They have a really rough tooth grid for getting the shapes out of it very fast, and then you can get some sanding paper and some knives, and you can also buy some carving knives. But I think if you spend like $50 on carving tools and some paper and very simple files, you can do
Yeah.
tremendously beautiful stuff. It has nothing to do with fancy tools. The expensive tools just make the process faster and easier. This is important if you decide to earn your living out of this job. Then you need
Yeah. You need
to
to
work
use the
fast.
tools. Yeah.
You need to work fast, otherwise you won't earn any money. Yeah, but for the beginning, just do it. And the biggest secret is patience. This is what I had to learn through the years. Patience is the key to success in our business.
All right.
Because always when I'm taking a look at my pocket watch, and I think, oh
You
no,
use a pocket watch. You're not the only one. I use pocket watches
oh,
too.
perfect. When I take a look at my pocket watch and think, oh, damn it, I have to work a bit fast, then the mistakes are starting to happen. When I'm giving too much pressure with my tool on the workpiece, then the mistakes happen. And I had to learn this really hard and really often on the really hard way. It is always faster to take your time, to be patient, than to start all over again multiple times. Because the most worst mistakes happens right at the end, not at the beginning, but right when you are finished, when you work on one piece, then 3 days,
Yeah.
and the last touch, and you're not patient, and that's it. And then you have to start again. It would be much faster if you just slow down, take your time, and then you're finished. This is what I had to learn the really hard way
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah. That's awesome. I thank you for my time. We are at an hour exactly.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No. It's perfect.
Okay.
I enjoyed the conversation. You were great to interview. I agree. I appreciate your
Oh,
time.
thank you.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed Stephan's ramblings. But yeah, I mean, yeah, but like he's a great artist. He's perfect at what he does. Stephan, what are some of the socials that they can get in contact with you to get their own custom one made?
The easiest thing is if you take a look at my Etsy store, you can write me a message there. And if you don't want to use Etsy, I also have my email contact at Etsy. You can just click on the small mail button and then you can write me email. You can send me an O, of course. I
Yeah.
always
And then you can
keep my
also reach out
mailbox.
to him on Instagram too, right?
Yeah, of course, but I think the Instagram users are declining. I think this Instagram will be dead in 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Naja,
And then you're also on TikTok as well, right?
I'm on TikTok
Yep.
and I'm a huge TikTok sensation.
Yeah.
Bye.
But again, thank you all for watching. Stephan, thank you for joining me for this interview.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And until next time, mischief managed.
Wait, I have something I
Oh,
always do. I wish you a magical time.
go ahead. I'll let you do it.
I wish you a wonderful time with magical greetings. You're Stefan. Bye bye. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.